Hey, what's up, Street Squad? I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, enjoying your Saturday, and just getting a chance to relax. First up, I would like to share something, a verse that's been on my heart and something I've been thinking about all week. Then we'll jump right into what's new in the street smart Christian world. The verse that's been on my heart this week is Matthew 22, verses 36 through 39. And this is when the Pharisees attacked Jesus, saying, what is the greatest law of them all then? And he says there's two great commandments. The first, love your Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. Period. First law, greatest commandment. Second, love your neighbor as yourself. And as I got to thinking about that, I thought, man, that's super easy just to love your neighbor as yourself. I mean, I love my friends, I love my family, I love those closest to me. But that's not what Jesus was talking about. When he says love your neighbor, he's talking about your fellow human being, the person next to you anywhere. Now, if we were all to be taken home today and stand in front of Jesus and he says, hey, looking pretty good here, but did you love your neighbor as yourself? Would you be able with a straight face to look at him in the eyes and tell him, yes, of course I did? I don't think so. I am probably the worst at this, but we all have to look at what that really means. Was it loving your neighbor when you honked the horn at the guy that might have made a mistake in traffic the other day? Was it loving your neighbor when you tried to hurry and get to in the line before the old lady with the grocery cart full of groceries and can't get stuff together real fast? Was that loving your neighbor? Was it loving your neighbor when you opened the door and walked right in and didn't hold it for the guy behind you? Was it loving your neighbor when somebody did something you didn't like, so you maliciously attacked them in your mind? Was that loving your neighbor? Not really, but we all make those mistakes. The good news is, Jesus knew we were going to make those mistakes, right? So that's why he died on the cross for us, so we can be forgiven and saved from those sins. But it makes you really think, like, man, if I'm going to go out there and say that I love my neighbor, then I should probably start practicing what I preach just a little bit. And before I do those things, maybe in my mind I just think, okay, love your neighbor, love your neighbor, love your neighbor. Is it going to be perfect all the time? Absolutely not. But I think that's something really important that we got to try. I mean, come on, guys. There was 10 commandments in the Old Testament, and he's saying there's only two real like real good laws that we really need to follow. Love your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And loving your neighbor as yourself might be really difficult, but we can try, right? That's all Jesus is asking us really to do is just try. So as you go on throughout your week this week, remember, if you're going to think about it, be about it. If you're going to talk about it, be about it, especially when it comes to loving your neighbor. Now on to some Street Squad news. Kevin and I recorded a podcast. My bad. I guess I didn't hit the record on the video part. We're trying to do a thing where we're doing separate audio and we're doing video, and then putting those together, seeing if we can get a better audio on some of this stuff. I mean, we're working on this podcast, trying to grow the podcast, trying to gain followers, trying to get everybody on those social media everywhere, trying to spread the gospel. Just two regular dudes spreading the gospel, trying to get more followers. However, we're doing that on a very, very small budget. Okay, so we don't have a lot of the fancy equipment, the really fancy cameras, audio mixers, and the number one thing that we would like to have a producer. So we're trying to get together what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. We're laughing, we're having a good time, we're pushing record, boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, we're in an hour-long conversation. I get home to edit, and one of the things didn't work. Oh, that could be so frustrating. But I take 100% blame for it. This is my baby, and I really want to help it grow, and that really can grow with you guys. So any input you guys have, anything you guys might be able to help me with, let me know. Hit me up on the comments. Go to www.streetsmartchristian1.com. You can sign up to be a member of the Street Squad there. We're putting together a merchandise store where you can get some great Street Smart merchandise that will help us raise money to put into our youth group, our Street Squad youth group, and into the podcast and creating great content for you guys. Also, you can hit us up with anything you can help with, any questions you have, or any topics you want to hit at slow down, Adam. StreetSmartChristian@gmail.com. Send us a message there, or just simply hit us up on all the social media outlets, and leave us a message. Drop us something there. As for the podcast, we did get the audio last week, so I will put that on Spotify, anywhere else you consume your podcasts and things of that nature. Until then, if you're going to talk about it, be about it. I love you guys. We'll keep getting you some good content out.